We all assume electric vehicles are the future, right? But what if I told you that entire future balances on a knife's edge? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the incredible, high-stakes game being played over lithium. This is the story of how just a handful of countries could literally control the keys to our entire electric world. And no, that is not an exaggeration. It's the central question we're tackling today. The power to just hit the brakes on the entire global EV industry is concentrated in a way that, honestly, most of us just don't realize. It's a super fragile balance, and trust me, it's about to get very, very interesting. All right, so to really get a handle on this thread, we have to start with the resource at the heart of it all, lithium. For the last 100 years, global politics has revolved around one thing: who's got the oil? Well, welcome to the new world, where the game is all about who has the lithium. And the comparison is just perfect, isn't it? They call it the new oil for a reason. Lithium is this incredibly light but super powerful metal that's become the absolute heart of modern battery tech. It's in your phone, your laptop, and of course your car. But its role in powering the global shift to green energy, that's what makes it completely irreplaceable. What's so wild is how all of these huge global trends just slam together right around 2026. You've got the obvious one, the EV boom, which just went into overdrive. But then, behind the scenes, you have countries building these massive grid-scale batteries to store solar and wind power. And get this, even AI data centers need gigantic lithium battery backups to keep running. It was a perfect storm that caused demand and prices to just go haywire. So who actually controls this new oil? Well, it's not exactly spread out evenly across the globe. Almost all the power is packed into one specific region in South America, a place now known as the Lithium Triangle. So let's meet the players, shall we? Just look at that. Over 60%, let me say that again, over 60% of the entire world's known lithium reserves are sitting in just 3 neighboring countries. When you talk about a concentration of power, this is exactly what it looks like. It's a geological jackpot that has quickly turned into a major geopolitical hotspot. But here's the thing. Each of these 3 countries plays a totally different role. You've got Chile, the veteran. They're the stable, established producer the world has counted on for years. Then there's Argentina, the rising star, which is just exploding with growth right now. And then you have Bolivia, the sleeping giant. This country has the single largest reserves on the entire planet. But for a long time, politics and other challenges have kept most of it locked in the ground. That is, until now. Now, with so much power concentrated in one tiny corner of the world, it was probably only a matter of time before someone got this idea. What if these 3 countries stopped competing with each other and started coordinating? And that brings us to the really controversial part of the story, the whisperings of a lithium cartel. This is it. This is the big question. Could they actually pull it off? Could they form an organization to control the supply and, by extension, the price of the world's most important battery metal? The implications are just massive, and you can bet the rest of the world is watching very, very closely. We all know OPEC, right? We know the power it has over oil prices. Well, a lithium alliance would be aiming for the exact same kind of control over the battery supply chain. But here's the scary part. While OPEC often talks about market stability, the fear with a new lithium cartel is that it would be used to create deliberate shortages and massive price hikes, posing a direct threat to the entire green energy revolution. But wait, this story has a major twist. Because even if the Lithium Triangle controls all the raw material in the ground, another country has quietly, brilliantly positioned itself to control everything that happens next. And that country is China. This is such a critical point to understand. You can have all the raw lithium in the world, but it's basically just fancy dirt until it gets refined into battery-grade material. And that refining process? Well, that has become China's silent, secret weapon in this whole global energy race. China's strategy here has been nothing short of methodical and, frankly, brilliant. Step 1. They made huge strategic investments in Argentina and Bolivia, securing their access to the raw stuff. Step 2. They poured billions into building up their refining capacity, to the point where they now control the vast majority of it globally. And the final step? Using that chokehold to dominate the entire battery supply chain, from the mine all the way to the finished product. Okay, so why should you care about all this geopolitical chess? Well, because the outcome of this game is going to hit you directly in your wallet, in the tech you can buy, and in the actual speed of our transition to a greener planet. If this cartel really happens, or if China decides to flex its muscles, you can expect immediate shockwaves. That affordable EV you were thinking about buying, the price could suddenly skyrocket. We could face major battery shortages, holding up everything from new cars to new power plants. And you better believe this would pour gasoline on the fire of the escalating tech wars between the world's superpowers. Right now, the US, China, and the European Union are all in a mad scramble to build their own battery supply chains. They've woken up and realized they've become dangerously dependent on just a couple of places. It is a high-stakes race, and falling behind means you basically lose control of your own economic and energy future. So we end right back where we started, with a question that is going to define our future. The fight for energy dominance has moved on from block gold to what they call white gold. The players are new, the tech is different, but the stakes, they're just as high, maybe even higher. What happens next isn't just a news headline, it's going to define the 21st century.